Welcome back to another episode of Weebu Slice Podcast, where you get your weekly anime,
gaming,
news, reviews, and discussion. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
So
Welcome
thing first, we gotta get the YouTube stuff out the way. So
we
make sure
you
like, comment, share, and
subscribe
the video. Make sure you like the video.
We need y'all to like the video so that we can keep giving you this fire content. Like we just said in the last video, we were right, and here's why. So just to keep that motion going, just go ahead and subscribe. We're going to give you a moment to do that right now.
So, first thing first. We actually doing a giveaway. Once we get 100 subscribers, we actually almost there, get us to 100 subscribers, and we're going to put your name in the randomizer, and you potentially can win a $25 gift card. So make sure you share this video so we can get to 100 subscribers.
Exactly, because who don't need $25? I need $25. That's like something off on the video game.
Hey, free meal, free anything with that. That's,
you know
like
what I'm saying? That's your next date, guys.
So, just saying.
Take your waifu out.
So, before we get into the first topic, I will put a disclaimer out there. Spoiler alert, we will be talking about the Demon Slayer movie, so you haven't seen it, you have been warned. Also, we will also be discussing the new Mortal Kombat movie later in this video for this week. So, you have been warned. I'm just warning you right now before you come in here and you see, oh, they spoiling stuff for you. You have been warned.
We letting you know off the rip, so go ahead and exit the building if that's your thing. So we're going to give you another second to do that.
So, we were both excited for this movie. So, let's go ahead and get into the first topic. The first topic is Demon Slayer movie. And did it actually live up to the expectation?
I'm going to just go ahead and say what we both thinking. Yes, it did. I give it S, and S again.
S. 10 out of 10, no over-exaggeration. It's definitely worth the watch. If you can go watch it, it's in theaters still a little bit longer, like another week or so. But please do yourself a favor and go watch this movie.
If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Highly recommend it. If we haven't told you anything else on this podcast, this is what you need to go watch in the theaters.
Like, first impression when we left the theater, it was three of us, and we left there mind blown. And that's the only thing we could talk about. How long it took us to get home? Like 40 minutes? And the whole 40 minutes, all we was discussing is the movie. Because I know
we had a little bit of an adventure trying to just go see the movie, you know? Shout out to the journey.
The journey. So that's the first thing we'll talk about is the fight scene. So in the first 15 minutes of the movie, it's a fight scene immediately. And
it's like off the rip.
Then now I'm thinking about it. So you know how your boy Rengoku was over there talking about delicious. You know who he reminded me of when he said, not I said out loud, he reminded me of old dude when the other white definitely, I know I don't want to spoil it for you, but definitely like delete. He was killing so many people. And that's what it hit me. I'm like, damn, this reminded me of that. But he was like, delicious. He had like 20 trays, 30 trays.
Oh, yeah, that boy was hungry.
He was tearing that thing up.
Definitely.
So, the first fight, he was, the conductor was manipulated by the demon.
Yeah, he was getting manipulated, and he was pretty much setting them up and whatnot.
The very first 15 minutes, it went down. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what we on. Because, you know, other movies, and I know you haven't seen too many anime movies. A lot of them have to build up to it and all that stuff. It's like,
Well, that's naturally with most anime. You don't get the action right off the bat. You get it, like, in bits and pieces, and later on, once that story is built up.
He was turning up. I'm like, oh, because since all of us watched Demon Slayer, we wanted to know about Rengoku. He was the pivot point of the movie. So we're like, okay, what he gonna do? How his moves gonna show out? What's gonna be so fancy? What's the fantasy animation? How he gonna look? Because Demon Slayer animation is A1.
I mean, you really only got a glimpse of him in the show, and he only said a couple of things during that whole exchange where they're voting yay or nay to kill him and his sister, or what to do about that. So you don't get a lot. And he immediately gets sent off on the mission with the train. So you don't get a good glimpse of what he's about or who his character is. But in this movie, you definitely see it.
Yes. So the first thing that happened in the movie is, like we was talking about, the conductor was working with the demon. The demon's power was put to everybody to sleep. That was his power. His power was to put you asleep, which is kind of weak when you really look at it in the long term. But that was his power. He put everybody to sleep. He had a whole bunch of people that was working with him and stuff, like the little kids. And they're like, hey, you do this for me, I'll let you live.
Pretty much like death by dream, kind of.
Yeah. And he was basically, that's how he was controlling most of them. He's like, well, I can't compete with these Demon Slayers, so what I'm going to do, I'm put them to sleep, and I'm let them, be in a slumber the whole time. That's how I'm going to defeat them. And
well, I think pretty much what he does is he picks on the weak-minded, people that have very bad lives and kind of, oh, I wish I was kind of dead type of mentalities, because that's what I kind of got from it. And it was more so like, well, instead of you living this kind of crappy life that you have, I'm gonna put you in a dream world where your wildest imaginations can come true, and this can be you for the low price of kill those demon slayers. That's how
and then he was talking about, didn't I give you a pleasant dream? He like, no, I don't care about the pleasant dream. It's not reality. He's like, I could give you a nightmare. Like, well, you didn't give me that. I wanna. And the thing is, how did you think about Tanjiro committing suicide? His daddy gave him a warning. And he was like, you know what? You gotta take your sword out and you have to do something with it. He like, oh, okay. And he just started committing suicide. I'm like,
well, when you first see it, my man take the sword and he's like this, and you're like, oh, this is going down. He's going,
dude.
And I'm like,
oh, it was
stunned.
A huge shock. And I'm like, is you serious right now? I like, you know how much gut you gotta take to commit suicide, even in a dream. Like, have you ever died in your dream before?
I think everybody might have had like a dream like that, but
you never committed suicide in your dream.
Oh no, I don't think that you've ever tried to commit suicide in your dream.
You know how much your mental capacity got to be at to even commit suicide on any level, dream or reality.
Yes.
And I'm like, and he just continually did. He did it so many, like he did it so much.
But it kind of bit him in the butt, kind of towards the end. And Inosuke had to say, "Hey, buddy."
You going a little bit too far there now.
He had to like snap him out of it. He said, "He's trying to get you to pretty much off yourself."
Because he was doing the thing that the demon was, he was hypnotizing. So what he'd do his power and hypnotize and put him in a dream. And he kept hypnotizing him over and over again. He did it so much that Tanjiro couldn't tell the difference between reality and a dream. So he almost offed himself. That's when Inosuke had to step in and actually help him out.
Exactly, because Inosuke, his big thing was, it kind of played in his favor that he wears that mask. Because he can't tell exactly where he's coming from. So, therefore, there's no telling which way he's actually looking. So, that kind of worked out in his favor. Which, I think that fight scene on the train was very epic, especially with the music and how that it was. It's like most of the music from the whole anime from start to finish, it just got you in the mode and put you in the mood, and you're engaged. And I'm like, man, I kind of want to add these songs to my playlist. These are so good.
You wish you could plug your phone like, oh, let me go ahead and Shazam this. I don't want to get caught and get kicked out because that was but let me go ahead and Shazam this real fast.
I would definitely say the music, the scores, beautiful.
And then how they like, you can't kill me. I'm fused with the train. You got to destroy the whole train. Or how are you going to destroy the whole train while protecting 200 civilians? And I was like, damn, how are you going to do that? I was thinking that the whole time, like, how are you going to protect all these people and kill him at the same time? And then they're like, okay, I got it now.
They split them up into groups and they played it smart. And being a Hashira, he pretty much led the charge and lived up to the name.
Dude, he was going ham. And then when he went to sleep, that's when they was going through his backstory and how his dad used to be a demon slayer too, and his dad lost all his drive and everything, and they don't know the reason why. And he was like, "Man, I'm not proud of you. Like, I got almost the highest level in the demon slayer court, and you're not even happy for me." So he went to go see his little brother. His little brother like, "What did Pop say? What did Dad say?" He said, "I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not even gonna lie to you. He didn't care." Didn't care.
The thing, there's a lot of questions still to be answered about that family and what's to come. I think that it's going to be important coming up when Tanjiro goes to that house and discovers what he needs to find out.
He did ask him in the beginning of the movie, like, so my dad, he used to do this dance, and it was like fire theme. Have you ever heard of it? Like, do you know anything about it? He thought about it, like, nope. I never heard.
He was just like, nope, nonchalant. Yeah. I was just like, well, damn.
Yeah. So that's one thing that when he went to go see his little brother, like, come on, give me a hug, and he was just honest with him. He was just crying. His little brother was like so happy, like, yeah, I'm gonna make you. I'm gonna be proud. I'm gonna do my job for you can be proud of me. I don't care about getting, my dad approval. And he's like, you know what? It don't even matter no more. And then he choked up old girl. Like, who you think you dealing with? Because they try to kill him inside their dream.
Right.
Go for this little gem.
I think it's like their soul.
Yeah.
And
old dude saw Tanjiro. So he like, dang, his soul is so pure. And the little cloud people that was working, inside of Tanjiro dream brought him to his soul. And he like, why would you do this? He's like, he's just so pure. He's so pure hearted.
Because everyone faced their
own
adversity differently. You got Inosuke, who pretty much had cliffs and all this open space that she couldn't even get through by the time she got there. And he like, I see you. Mm-hmm. And then you got
No, in that case, that was funny as heck too because he had everybody looking dumb. And he's like, "You the leader, we gonna follow you." And he's like, "Yeah, idiots, follow me." And I'm like, "This man, that's how he see everybody because basically they on reality, so this how he see Tanjiro and all of them."
Exactly.
Like,
so that was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was pretty. That was the comic relief of the movie when Inosuke was like, and he had them with they buck teeth like rabbits and stuff like that. It's funny.
Yeah, he was pretty funny. I definitely think that he was the comic relief, and then. Zenitsu.
You just say the dude with the orange hair. Let's go with that.
Well, let's just go with that. And he has a crush so hard on Tanjiro's sister. He's just lollygagging in the field, doing whatever she say. Yep. And next thing you know, someone's interrupted that. Oh, I'm not taking that anymore. He decides that he wants to just, you're going to get out my dream because you're not going to ruin it for me. So I think that it's very interesting. Everyone's different take on being attacked self-consciously.
Yep. So. And then on top of that, let's go into the major fight scene of the movie because once the train fight scene was over, I'm like, please don't let this be the end of the movie. Please don't. I
think a lot of people were like, is this the end of the movie? If not, I'm going to jump off this train and leave the theater type of
deal. then one of the demons that's in the top 10 pulled up like, hey.
It was the number 3.
Number 3?
It was number 3.
He pulled up like, hey, what's up? I'm like, where did he come from? He just pulled up after they destroyed the train, and it was him and your boy Rengoku 1v1 because Tanjiro was already injured for beating the train dude. He's completely injured. He had to he had to heal himself and concentrate on his breathing because he was kind of messed up there. The civilian dude, the conductor, he stabbed him in the stomach or in the gut somewhere, and Tanjiro was like really injured, so he couldn't really fight. He was incapacitated.
Yeah, Tanjiro took a hit for Inosuke.
Yeah.
And Inosuke was like, why did you do that? You know how the typical response goes. But Tanjiro was a good guy.
I ain't gonna lie. That last battle was epic. Epic, all caps. Like, it was epic. Like, it was going down.
Oh, yeah. It definitely made you just reflect on everything. The music, the fight scenes. And he pulled out his best A1 moves.
Dude, he even had he thought he was gonna get away. He hold on to the whole time. Like, no, the sun about to come up. He had to be fighting for a long time till the sun come up. And he's like, you ain't going nowhere. He said, okay, you think I ain't going nowhere? Detached.
Like pretty much, he was so scared of the sun that he broke his own limbs off just to escape.
Because demons die from sun, no matter how strong you are.
Exactly, like vampires, kind of.
So he was out here. Then Tanjiro was like, "Where you think you going?" And he threw that sword so far though. He like, So
with the fire breathing technique.
So there goes another Tanjiro sword. He gonna have to get another old dude. Gonna be highly upset.
I can't wait to see what he says about that second sword. Come on now, my brother.
The highlight of the whole movie was when Rengoku died. Did you cry?
I didn't cry, but I felt a deep sadness in my heart.
Deep sadness. I am gonna hold you up.
You cried out here.
I shed a couple of tears.
You still cried. You cried out here in these anime streets.
Listen, I ain't gonna hold you up. I shed a couple of tears, man, because I told you in a couple of podcasts ago, like I was really intrigued by him. For some reason, I like fire content. I like fire characters. Ken, Tanjiro, Todoroki. For some reason, I'm always intrigued by fire characters, and I'm like, man, please let him. I'm like, I want to, know about his backstory, see what he about, and he was, intriguing to me. And I'm like, man, I can't share a tear. Then you got his backstory and what he went through,
right?
And everything,
all his adversities. Yeah. I had a feeling though. I was like, something has to happen, dramatic to change. To be a tipping point to push Tanjiro to be better and to get better. Something has to happen in his life because at the beginning, yes, I'll train you. Everyone's yeah. And it's looking like that's going to happen. I'm like, something's got to happen. Someone has to be a sacrificial lamb here in order to progress this story. I was looking forward to him training
him and everything. I was looking forward to that. I'm like, and I told you, I ain't going to lie. I was in that theater. I'm on boo-hooing, but I'm like,
R.I.P.
That's a tough one, man. Then they made it even worse when the credits came on and they were showing his screen like he was like a memorial.
It was like a eulogy and whatnot, showing his pictures in memory of Rengoku.
Yeah, it was like a you go to a funeral and everything. They show pictures and stuff like that's memorize him for all his stuff he did while he's alive. And they pulled the same thing at the end of the movie. They were showing all his screenshots, all his imagery, and all that stuff. I'm like, man, y'all, this ain't making making it any better. Y'all not making this any better. Like, it was hitting me, and so I'm like,
whew. So let me ask you this: what do you think is going to happen next? What do you feel like? What are you looking, what are you looking forward to happening next?
So they was kind of basically hinting at it in the movie. They was hinting at like, okay, Tanjiro, go to my father's house. I think he has some information for you that you can basically look up and basically that would get the information you're looking for, because he was asking about the dance and everything like that.
Right.
He said, so now that I think about it, he had to wait till he almost dead. But he said, now that I think about it, I think the answers you are looking for is at my house. So go to my house and ask my little brother or my dad, something like that, and I tell him, and I think there's some information there that will help you in your journey. So I think that's the next line up is when he go over there, because he definitely gonna go to his house, and then he gonna meet his little brother. I think his little brother gonna be the next one to take on his legacy.
You think he's gonna be the next Hashira?
I think his little brother gonna take on his older brother legacy, because his daddy just he gave up on that. So I think the little brother gonna take on his legacy.
Well, let me ask you this: do you think that Inosuke, Zenitsu, and Tanjiro will be the next Hashiras? Because it pretty much felt as though Rengoku was passing the torch or giving his stamp of approval, saying, you guys have what it takes to defend the rest of the world.
But Zenitsu, I can see Inosuke, but Zenitsu, I'm not 100% sure, because he only got one move. And no, it's dope. It's a pretty dope. It's a pretty dope move.
Like his grandfather said, if you got one move, just one move, sharpen it. And sharpen it some more.
But dude, one move on you can get you so far. I understand that this ain't Naruto and the Rasengan or the Shadow Clone Jutsu, but he had more than one move. But he had one main move, the Shadow Clone Jutsu. He's not about to get away in this universe with just one move. It's not happening.
I think it'll be very interesting. I'll say that.
But the movie already sold $20 million foreign, so around the world. And we should start this coming a mile away, because it was the #1 movie in Japan. Total. Like, it beat all the history.
It's the best-selling movie in the United States. It's a foreign film right now. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if it wins an Oscar next year.
To be the first anime movie to win an Oscar.
It will be a very amazing feat.
But I would love to see that happen too, because all it's going to do is make anime more mainstream, and it's going to
push it out there to more people to talk about and give more crowd, and come see us.
Yeah, it's going to uplift the platform, and everybody in that atmosphere is going to benefit from it. Basically, that's just my take on it. So, enough for Demon Slayer. That's mentioned. Sleeper anime you should check out, because we already mentioned the spring anime everybody should be checking out, which landed on a top 10 anime. Exactly. Like, top 5 of the anime we was talking about, every single one of them was on there. But that's gonna give you some sleeper hits that nobody's talking about. So the first one I want to talk about is Jobless Reincarnation. I will give credit what credit is due. He did, because I usually be the one recommending anime to almost everybody, but he did recommend this to me, like, hey, you gotta check it out. I'm like, you know what? I'm all caught up on all my spring anime. Let me go ahead and check a couple episodes out. And I will say this: when I first watched the first episode, I did binge watch 5 episodes back to back. I'm like, oh, this is legit. This is pretty good. And I'm gonna get your take on it. I'm just gonna give a brief summary of the story and what happens in the movie and inside of the series. So I don't know what's up with these anime lately. Everybody gotta die for some reason. So it's an
isekai anime.
Yeah, the title tells you already he being reincarnated. So the guy was one of them, he was an introvert. He was at home playing video games, by himself all the time, and he dies. I think he got hit by a car. And get hit by a car like everybody else. Get hit by a car, train, whatever it is, somebody get hit by something.
Well, one guy ended up getting stabbed, but 9 times out of 10.
It's about getting hit by, it's an accident.
It's some type of accident.
Yes. So he dies and come back alive, and as a baby, and the first thing he see is an older woman, and he don't realize he a baby obviously because he died. He's like, "Ooh, them things looking nice over there. Who's you?" And then he see them talking and stuff. He's like, I don't understand their language, but she's looking real good. And then he looked down like, hold on, these some baby hands. And he was talking the whole time, but they couldn't understand nothing he said because he was talking in baby language, obviously. So the guy was very intelligent in this other world. The other world was totally different than the world he was living in. It's back into a different, different type of beings.
Yeah, this was more medieval.
Yeah, more medieval. So different type of beings and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he was in this world. He's very smart. He learned multiple different languages. He become a mage at a very young age. Like, he taking full advantage of his lifestyle now compared to then. And then his dad on the other end, that boy he's a freak. He's a freak. He's a freak.
Yeah, his
But
dad's a little out there, but he's a master swordsman.
he is a master swordsman. But that boy, when I found out what happened with him and the two girls, I said, this man over here.
Yeah, he's
he's
pretty much having a affair
harem.
with the maid.
Yeah,
Pretty
low-
much having a harem.
He had low key harem. I'm like, this man living his best life, and he was over there in the corner talking about his wife was not playing with him, and the main character had to step in like, you know what, I'm gonna help her out. You know, I'm gonna say the right things to my mom because his mom was pissed. I mean, she was highly upset. And she's about to kick old girl out. Like, you know, you gotta go somewhere. And it's the winter, like it's freezing.
Yeah, it was looking like it was a little bit nippy outside.
And she wasn't that baby or her wasn't gonna make it because she was pregnant, so she was not. They both was gonna die. And the son was like, "Come on, just give her a chance." You know, this and that and that. And she's like, "You know what? You are right. I'm gonna go ahead and give her a chance." And the dad was like, "Yes, yes." And he had to, you know, do everything in his power to get back on the wife's, you know, good side.
Yeah, get back in her good graces. But
What you think about the show?
I think Jobless Reincarnation.
I already gave a summary, so you just give me your thoughts.
It's really good. It kind of reminds you a little bit of the time I got reincarnated as a slime, but it also has that wise man's grandchild type of feel. So if you're into isekais, which is pretty much guy from another world, or I should say character from another world, definitely give it a watch. I would definitely recommend it. I'll give it an A.
Yeah, same for me. It's an A right now.
I would give it an A.
It's not S, but it's definitely an A.
Well, it's not finished yet, and they're still having episodes. You can watch it on Funimation, by the way. And
dub and sub, by the way.
Yeah.
So they got a little bit more than half dub already. So if you're a dub watcher, you can watch it in fully dub. But the sub, I don't know how many episodes it's going to be this season, but it's on episode 11 right now. I think it's probably like a 12-episode series.
12 or 13 is usually the standard for most anime. So we'll see. We have to definitely keep you guys informed.
Really good.
So I got some good news, but some bad news for you guys. So does anyone remember the anime Shaman King? Back in 2001, this was a very popular anime, a Shonen Jump original, and had a 32-volume manga. Well, it got remade. But the bad news is, unfortunately, it's only in Japan right now on Netflix. And it's supposed to be coming later to Netflix America.
I can add something on top of that. You ain't got to wait. Get that Express VPN. You can watch it. Say you're in Tokyo and say you're in Japan. You can watch it at the same time in Japan and watch it. That's how you get around that.
That's true. But, you know, unfortunately, people are lazy. So
no. Most computers come pre-installed with ExpressVPN now.
That's true.
So you can just click, and they give you a free trial most times too. So just click, say I'm in Japan. Okay, I'm in Japan. Go to Netflix, log in, keep it moving. Make it look like that's all you gotta do, and it's straightforward. If you really want to watch it.
Yeah. Or it'll be out later, 2021. So if you're into that, definitely check it out. Well, like my man said, get a VPN and watch it real time. It's the same as Japan.
Yep. So, sir, what other show that you think is a sleeper hit that you want to recommend to our audience?
I watched one anime from the Annie-Trans list, which we'll have in the description box. It was called Don't Toy With Me, Miss NAGATORO, which it's a little bit raunchy on the raunchy.
Can you explain it to our audience? Some people don't know what that means.
By raunchy, I mean ecchi. I mean TV, maybe MA a little bit.
This particular program is not intended for younger audience. Just put it like that.
It's not intended for younger audience. It's pretty much about a gentleman who does art. He writes he draws a comic book, and he's socially awkward. He's
an introvert basically then.
Yes.
Gotcha.
He ends up going to the library where there's a group of girls, and he ends up dropping his artwork, and one particular one comes up and kind of messes with him, and she derives some type of pleasure from it. So throughout the episodes, she pretty much messes with him, gets inside of his head, but she doesn't like other people to do it besides her. So it kind of gets him out of his shell in a way.
So she like to toy with him for pleasure.
Pretty much.
I got you.
And it's pretty funny. So
the crazy thing is, it's another show I'm gonna recommend it later, but it's another show that have the very same premise. This very same premise, but it's a different setting. is a girl who always want to bother him all the time, want to get on his skin, and she like doing it because she technically like him, and she just wanted to be the only person to get on his skin. But you can continue.
But that's pretty much what I think is where this is staring is. She low key likes him, but it's very funny. It's definitely a comedy as well. So if you're into ecchi type of anime, definitely give it a watch. It's in the anime trends list, and I believe it's in the top 10 or 15. So give it a check out.
All right. So the most exciting topic of this week. I'm rocking the outfit right now. So, Mortal Kombat. What do you prefer, the '96 movie or the 2021 movie? So I'm gonna go first.
Fight!
I'm just gonna keep it 100. That the 2020 movie for me was a D. I'm just gonna keep it like 2021. My apologies. 2021 movie wasn't my cup of tea. Mm-hmm. The reason why it was my cup of tea because I know it's gonna be a little different because it's a new story and all that stuff. But in my mindset, I'm so attached to the original characters and the original storyline that it's kind of hard for me to look besides those particular those glasses, those lenses. So I'm going in. I'm like, okay, it's gonna be different, but I ain't know it's gonna flip everything on the head. I'm like, come on, like it was hard for me to even watch it because I came in with that mindset.
Okay.
So that's why I felt the way I felt. Now, the more I think about it, and the more I understand, I'm like, okay, that's the reason why I really didn't like this movie. Because they just said, okay, we're going to take the characters, we're going to take the universe, we're going to pay homage to certain stuff, but overall, we're going to do what the hell we want to do at the end of the day. We're going to do whatever we want to do, and you guys are going to like it, watch. And it's a couple of things, I'm just going to go into the couple of things I dislike. Actually the Liu Kang character, it kind of, hit me a little bit. It won me over just a little bit. It's not better than the original one. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I still think the '96 movie is still better because it pays homage to the video game itself. You get what I'm saying? So the movie, the first movie is really like it pays homage to the game itself. It's like the storyline, the characters, how everybody interact with one another.
Well, how about start with telling us some of the examples of what you didn't like.
I'm about to get to that right now.
Okay.
So I was just saying that part first. What I didn't like is when Kano, I know he's first, him and Sonya being on the same team was a huge straw for me. I'm like, I know for a fact Sonya Blade and Kano always had a vendetta against each other because Kano killed Sonya Blade, army buddy. He killed her or him. And Sonya had a vendetta out against Kano ever since then. So there's no way in heck that Sonya would have been okay with him being on their team, no matter what. No matter how much money she would have paid him or anything like that, they would never be on teams. Another thing was, I didn't like how they paint Sub-Zero as a villain. Sub-Zero being mostly neutral. Then he obviously got killed by Scorpion because Scorpion was being manipulated by Quan Chi and all that stuff I mentioned in the past. And Sub-Zero never even did anything to Scorpion. And then the new Scorpion that we know now, because B-Hun got killed and got transformed into new Sabak. And then the new Sub-Zero is actually on a good team. That's the one from MK3 trilogy and all that stuff.
The one with the
scar on his eye. So he's actually a good character. And I'm like, I do not like how they try playing him as a villain. Because if anything, people used to think Scorpion was a villain. Now all of a sudden Sub-Zero is a villain. Like, I didn't like that plot. There's a couple things. Another thing I didn't also like is how they were trying to get them, like, they get powers, like superpowers and stuff like that, when they already had those features to begin with. Like, when Sonya had a little purple ring she threw out, like, that wasn't a superpower. Like, they already had that. Kano getting laser beam, he got his eye, reconstructed through surgery because Jax whooped his head in one time, and he had to get a fake eye, and the fake eye came with a laser. That's not a superpower, it's just a robotic eye. And then on top of that, how Jax got them new arms, I'm like, this man he look crazy with these skinny arms. and they say that's like a power when he gets his arms big again. I'm like, but they were just robotic arms. Like, it's not a power. You get what I'm saying? It's a couple of other things I didn't like, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and discuss what you actually like and which movie you actually prefer.
Well, I'll say this. I think I went in with a open mind towards MK than a lot of people. I believe I called it in episode 3, I believe it was, when I said, based on the trailer, this storyline is going to be completely different from how the MK world that we know and love is. So, me knowing that, I don't think I criticized as much. Well, there was things that I didn't like, and there was things that I really did like. So, for me...
While you was talking about that, you know how we mentioned that Johnny Cage with the comic relief, and I'm like, who they gonna get it from? And then we basically found out.
Oh yeah, it was
Kano.
Kano was pretty hilarious.
He was.
I would say that. I would say,
especially when he was talking to Kung Lao.
Oh yeah, at the table. I think that was like gold.
That was hilarious. I definitely get that was a pro for me. I did like that conversation with him and Kung Lao because I was dying.
Yeah. So Sub-Zero, I thought that he was pretty good. Just pretty much anything that got in his way, destroy. And especially I thought that the scene where he was fighting Jax and he pretty much froze his arms, and I'm like, this reminds me of the fatality from the actual game. The only thing that I think that they should have did different is when he was on that ledge after he froze and broke his arms, he should have kicked him off of it. I think that would have just set it off. That's just my personal opinion.
He was more settled. He just said,
yeah, he just kind of pushed him down, and I'm like, that's okay, but no, I want you to destroy this man like you should.
Me personally, I really think Scorpion should have a little bit more love. Like he didn't get too. He was in the beginning of the movie, and got killed, and then at the end of the movie, he had a little showtime, and that was literally it.
Well, I think that it was more so about his lineage and his descendants. So he got love, but not as much screen time as a lot of people. But I think that it was from the first 95 film was pretty much Liu Kang's point of view, and this film was pretty much Scorpion's point of view.
I want to say Scorpion's more of Scorpion lineage.
Well, that's why I would say Scorpion, because it's his lineage. It's pretty much from their point of view, Yeah. So I would say that it was that, and that's okay. And it's pretty much kind of sometimes with the MCU, how the MCU universe is a little bit different from the actual comic universe. So I think that taking the steps to take it in a new direction, I think that it's okay. I would give it a B. Friendship. It's not bad, but it's not great. I liked that they paid homage to some things from the game that I thought were really cool. Like for example, they had Easter eggs of some of the other characters. And you guys, comment down below if we missed any Easter eggs or you saw some Easter eggs that we don't mention. So, Katana's fan. I was like, hey, that's Katana's fan right there. And I was like, that's pretty cool. Oh, that's a picture of Nightwolf. That's awesome.
I saw that too.
And they had some other pictures and things. And at the end, oh, that's Johnny Cage's poster right there.
I know one thing you didn't miss. You didn't pay attention to. I can guarantee you. I can say right now that you missed.
Well, they also, I did miss, I believe you told me that they mentioned Boraicho being Liu Kang's trainer.
Yep.
So I was like, oh man, I missed that one. So I thought that was pretty cool. It was some other things that was going on.
What I want to mention is you said how the universe is so different, but I'm keep telling you, they took the universe and decided to do what they want to do with it, because at the end of the day, they get, you beat Mortal Kombat 10 and Mortal Kombat 11, right?
Yes.
Do you remember what happened at the end of Mortal Kombat 10?
I can jog my memory.
So Jesse Cage, fought Shinnok, and they was fighting for that amulet, and she got some powers from Johnny Cage, the little green thing, and she beat Shinnok to get control of the amulet. Because that's when Raiden got the amulet. That's when he was getting red, he was turning bad and all that stuff.
Right.
That amulet from the game was in the movie. That's the amulet that Kano tried to steal, and Kung Lao told him to put it back.
That's Shinnok's amulet. I think, yeah.
That's why I'm saying they chose and did what they want to do with it. That's why.
And I think that's okay. It's the same thing with the MCU universe where they pick and choose.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Different things that they want, and they take it. But I don't think that they did anything bad or didn't pay homage to the original game. When you look at something like, as far as the fatalities, I think that the fatalities were pretty awesome.
I said that. I said they pay homage to certain points, because when Reptile gets hard ripped out from Kano, that was Kano's trademark for his fatality.
Yeah, that was, and I thought that that was Reptile.
I know, I'm telling you, it was Reptile. Yeah,
and that was pretty cool. I was kind of wishing that the Reptile was the ninja, but
yes,
I will say, like, that was one of the down. I was like, oh, it's Reptile. Yes. I was like, is it going to be the? Well, they could have at least did the 95 Mortal Kombat where Reptile fuses into a body and becomes the ninja Reptile, which was kind of cool. But I don't take anything away from it, because seeing Reptile was kind of cool. I just kind of wish that he was a ninja.
You and me also, because, obviously back in the day, Rain, Ermac, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Reptile, they were all ninjas. You know, they was all different type of color ninjas. That's how they did it. Okay, the purple ninja is Rain. The green ninja is, you know, Reptile. The blue is Sub-Zero. Scorpion is yellow, etc. You know.
Yeah. Like, there's definitely more room for improvement, but overall, I think that it was still pretty good. There was, like, a lot going on. So, for example, what would you say is the best fatality that you saw? Because I know what I'm going to say.
Look, that was a rhetorical question. By popular vote, most people already discussed what the fairy fatality was, and that was when Kung Lao killed Kintaro, and when he had his sword down,
and he did the signature fatality.
He drove her like a skateboard. And he drove through and basically chopped her in half.
Split her down the middle.
That's mostly. Then he did like this, talking about false victory.
I mean, you can't tell me that wasn't a little, but that didn't pump you up a little bit. Flawless victory.
So everybody gonna say the same thing. Most people, anyways, in my opinion, because that was the dopest fatality. That was pretty dope. But like I said, I gave it a D because my mentality coming in, but like it just wasn't for me. I do like certain. You know,
I think you held the standard a little bit high because of your background and how you feel about them not staying true to the actual storyline.
But I've been honest. I said I came in there with a certain mindset because the thing is, I have such an emotional attachment towards the original storyline and characters. Like I read all the comics. I remember I told you I just watched Scorpion Revenge.
Exactly.
Animation movie, and that movie was literally based on the game. Like I didn't say based on the game, but it paid homage to the game itself. Like it was literally hand in hand, and I thought that movie was amazing, but nobody talk about it. Nobody talk about that movie. And that movie came out last year. Nobody talk about it. And it was an amazing movie. It goes back to what I was saying. It was showing how Quan Chi, how he went into the manipulation towards Scorpion, and how he pretended to be the Lin Kuei, and how the Lin Kuei killed his family in front of him, and all that stuff. It literally shows Scorpion whole backstory. This movie did the same thing. They did a Scorpion backstory, and it showed how it is for his lineage. And that movie did the exact same thing, but it was amazing to me because it's still true to the original plot. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. So, my next question is, the director said that there could be an MK2, but that depends on the popular vote.
They already signed for 5 movies already. Some of the actors in the movie already signed for 5 movies already. So in their mind, as long as they meet the financial result that they're looking for, the intended result, they're gonna make 5 movies out of this.
So, and do you think that the next movie will be any better?
I'm gonna try to go in with more grace. But Johnny Cage gonna be in there. So my thing is, they talking about Johnny Cage. Who they want to cast Johnny Cage? And there's so many people out there talking about cast me. And the main 2 people is
is The Miz
and your boy
Ryan Reynolds.
So who you think would play a better Johnny Cage for you? Because I just think Ryan, he got way more experience. He played in multiple action movies, so I think he would slide right into it. The only thing I think he had to be funny. He had to be comical. So
I think that I would say it's a job for Ryan just because Deadpool, and
he was funny in Deadpool.
And that's the most, and I hate using that because he was in a lot of funny movies, but everyone knows him as, oh, that's the Deadpool guy. And yes, that is true, but he also was the Van Wilder. And a lot of people don't remember Van Wilder when he was in his college years, and he was pretty much this kid who goofed off in college and had to straighten up. And he was also funny in that. So I think that Ryan Reynolds definitely, just because of his past in the movies, you can see, and he'll have that kind of buff build too.
Yeah.
But The Miz, I think, will be a better opportunity for him just because he used to play in the reality show The Real World. Then he went to become a wrestler. And now the next stepping stone for him, getting a highlight film like this, he would do ample amount for his career.
I totally agree with you on that. But the thing is, what you think he's going to be able to land that job? It's going to be highly competitive. Now, after the movie came out, the first movie is going to be highly competitive.
And I believe it did about 25 million, and it crushed the box office this weekend. It did better than they absolutely expected it to do. So I think it's definitely going to get a second movie. I'm going to cast my vote for Ryan Reynolds, but we shall see.
So today, based on you guys when we watch it and stuff like that. When you guys come and actually watch this video, before I even go there, you guys, who do you even side with? Me, actually liking the '95 movie, or him liking the 2021 movie? So for me, the original is always better. The original is always better. You let us know in the comment section, or you can just let us know which one you actually prefer. Like I said, you can't get no better than it. I ain't gonna say can't get any better. The original is just better. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just better. So for this week, the game topic will be the State of Play. State of Play is going over Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank is coming out in a month. I think they're gonna talk about a little bit about Returnal, what's coming out this week also. Are you guys going to check out Returnal? Are you going to check out Returnal?
I saw it. Probably not. I don't feel like there's enough out there for me to be like, I should check this game out.
I think they just killed their budget a little bit when they said $70. If it was like a $40 game, I think I would be more susceptible than trying it out than paying $70.
You know, that's unfortunately is going to start becoming the norm for new games to be about $70. I'm not on board with it, but you're going to have to show me a lot more in order for me to give you my $70.
To be honest with you, that's one of them. I think that is one of those games that's going to go on sale. It's going to sell pretty good, but I think it's going to go on sale by the summer. I'll catch it on sale. And I'll check it out then. Because it's only a single player game anyway, so.
Exactly.
Demon's Souls, I think it was worth the money, but not this. So it's actually like Demon's Souls a little bit when it's like comes to like difficulty. They say you're going to die a lot. It's going to be extremely difficult. So, and then every time you die, the game get harder. So, it's.
So that's kind of like Shadow of Mordor, where as you die.
But it's still a shoot 'em up. It's like, you know, a third person shoot 'em up with different type of weapons and stuff like that. It's literally, but like, you know, I think it's on like a planet. It's in like a different universe where you fight aliens and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And like I said, I catch it on sale. I'll check it out.
Catch it on the flip side.
I'll let you guys know. But are you guys gonna check out the State of Play? Because I know I am.
And just so you guys know, State of Play, as of this recording, is happening today. So unfortunately,
as it's recording, the State of Play is happening right now.
Yeah.
And I know I actually thinking I'm really, really contemplating about getting Ratchet and Clank Day 1. I'm really thinking about it. It's really selling me. The more and more trailers I see, I'm like, this one's actually looking pretty good. I never bought a Ratchet and Clank game. Day 1.
I've played them, but I've never bought one. So that's another game where I know there's a lot of nostalgia and a lot of people play Ratchet and Clank, but it's just not my particular cup of tea.
I'm going to check it out, though, because one of my guys, this guy loves Ratchet and Clank. He loves it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give it a try because, you know, PS5 they have a couple of exclusives, but that's the main reason why people actually have it. And I'm like, you know what? I want some exclusives for my system. And I'm definitely not getting Returnal. So I'm like, you know what? By the time Ratchet and Clank come out, I should be cool. I should have some free time and go ahead and check it out. So that's majority of the State of Play. They're gonna have some indie games here and there thrown in.
I'm hoping that they have some sneak exclusives at the State of Play. Like I'm hoping that maybe we'll get a glimpse at God of War Ragnarok.
They ain't not doing that. Well, if they show God of War or even Horizon, it's gonna be in June during E3. Even though they're not gonna be at E3, Sony always posts information around that time. So most likely that's when they're gonna start giving out the big guns.
I'm hoping that they give us at least a taste of what's to come as far as their AAA titles. So I would say this: there's always hope.
The thing is, nowadays I go into these broadcasts. You have to go in there with a very small.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't say overestimate or overvalue it at all, but just
you're gonna leave disappointed. So you're like, you know what? Just going there with low expectations. I'm gonna check it out and I'm gonna see what happens. But like most of the games, like okay, they be having so many rumors going on, like the Silent Hill remake, the American Side remake, and neither one have been even announced at all. And I'm like, cause remember they kept saying Silent Hill gonna be announced at the Game Awards. Silent Hill gonna be announced at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
And Game Awards came around.
Nothing.
Silence. So nowadays I be like, okay, let me go ahead and lower my expectations and just go in there. And if I see anything I like, I'm gonna go off of that. If not, it is what it is. Because I know a lot of people be disappointed, especially in Microsoft press conference. Lately, it's getting better, but beforehand, people like, man, like what is this? You could have kept this. So
exactly.
That's my thought. So guys, Shinobi Strikers just announced season 4 for later this year. And the crazy thing that spoke to me is, did you know that there are still 6 million people playing this game to this day?
I didn't know there were 6 million people still playing Shinobi Strikers to this day.
6 million. Because
that's quite a crowd.
Yeah, because remember we was playing when it first came out, like 2 years. It was 3 years ago actually.
Yeah, it was a little bit ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago, and we was in it. I mean, we was I can say what I want to say, but we was into the game and we was playing it quite often actually. Yeah. You was more like a healer. I was more of a defensive type of character.
You had to know your role, as Rock would say.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
In that type of game, you had to know your role.
Know your role and shut your mouth. That healer, you used to get so many points playing healer. It's been ridiculous. Yeah, look at me. I got so many points being a healer. I'm like, get your butt out of here. So that's one thing. Are you guys going to go back and play Shinobi Strikers? Because I'm contemplating because they actually announced today also they releasing a light version. The light version is going to be free to play. So you can jump in, play the full game. Literally the full game. Carry your character, play online, everything for free. And then
I might have to jump back in there. That I might be interested in.
So it's free, but you still got the full game. It's on game. I actually own it, so you have it.
So,
but yeah. So I'm thinking about jumping back in. They got more characters. I wonder who they gonna announce because they've been doing a lot of rehashing the characters. They got like 3 different Narutos, like 2 different Narutos.
Because of the different, like pretty much like with Dragon Ball Z, the different molds and stuff like that. But I wish that they could just do it like you have one character, but
different variations,
and you can like upgrade depending on how much you power them up and things like that.
Yeah, instead of having them be a whole new character, like come on.
Exactly. I've never been a fan of that. One character that you can power all the way up to whatever their level is.
And especially we are paying for season passes. Please give a new character. There's so many people in the universe they could have been using besides them.
Exactly.
There's so many people in the universe they can be using. But I'm thinking about jumping back in. You guys let us know if you jump back in. Since it's going to be free to play anyways, why not? You check it out. Let us know what you're thinking about it. And are you even still playing? So, our last game topic for the week will be Star Wars Jedi New Order. They actually put out news today stating there will be a free Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5 update. So if you already own the game, it is on Game Pass through EA Play, and a lot of people bought it. A lot of people caught it on sale.
I actually have it. I'm guilty of not playing it yet.
I haven't played it either. I own it. I haven't played it either.
So yeah.
But so now that you got the news, there will be a free update for a free next gen update. Will you check it out? Since they give you a sense of it's free. So
if it's free, it's always all right by me.
So so people who actually wait to play it, if you play it on console, PC you always get the best version of the game. If you play it on console and you get the free update, would you go back and play it? Because I haven't tried it out. Now it gives me an incentive to go check it out. So I'm like, okay, I got these new systems. I want to get the full advantage of them anyways. Why not check it out? And I heard a lot of great things about it. I know no loot boxes, no paid DLC. It's a straight storyline from EA, surprisingly, and it's a straightforward story. And I heard a lot of great things from it.
Speaking of loot boxes, sir, did you hear about EA and their loot box situation?
Yes, I did. They thought they was slick because it was a rumor at first, and then people who play FIFA.
Well, there was a document that leaked.
Yeah, the document that leaked first, and then they put it in FIFA, the video game itself, and put notes in like, FIFA Ultimate Team is so great. You should check it out. They was trying to do everything. It was basically an advertisement trying to persuade players to try out Ultimate Team to play, to pay to play.
Pay to play. So pretty much there was a document that leaked that said that EA will be trying to steer their customers, their consumers, to pay for loot boxes to get better cards to compete against other players. And as he just said, that in the actual game, they're trying to steer you towards that. So my question for you guys is, how do you feel about loot boxes in any game?
That's a rhetorical question. Nobody really like loot boxes. You like gambling? Because
that's what it is, illegal gambling. But you do have some people that say, hey, I'm not at home all the time, and I don't have time to put as much into video games as you do. So sometimes spending an extra couple of dollars is easier for that person. You do have those people. I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
But it's a difference. Like 2K, you get what you pay for. You upgrade your player, and you don't want to put the time in, which I don't support really, but I understand.
But they also have my team.
Yeah,
and 2K.
But loot box is totally different. a chance you may get this. It's a chance. It's a very small probability at that.
Well, if you remember back, they had made that they passed, I believe it was a law where they had to tell the percentage of chance that you had to get with the loot boxes, which in 2K as well. In the My Team, people pay for different card packages, which is pretty much a loot box, but that just have a different term for it. So I just think that it's very interesting that it's all coming back to this, and then you have to be aware because you have these kids that buy these games and their mom's credit card is on the system, so now she gets $10,000, which happens into debt because the cards on the system, the kids like, I'm going to open up as many loot boxes, as many packs, as many Ultimate Team things as I want. And they was like, well, if it's a 10% chance and I open up, 100 or this, and that's going to increase the percentage. So, it's very terrible. I don't support it, and I am not a fan of loot boxes. I'm old school, and you earn everything that's given.
Yeah, I'm 100% agree upon that theory, because when we was growing up, you pay for a game, you enjoy the game, and you done with it. Now, the thing is, I'm not even too much against even additional content. What I'm against is a potential outcome. You potentially can get this. You can potentially get that. If I'm going to pay something, let me get what I paid for, instead of, you can possibly get, because the thing is, they be trying to give you an idea, like, okay, you can get LeBron, you can get Lionel Messi, you can potentially get them. They spending $200. That's 4 times the game. And just to get a card to have a competitive advantage, it's not.
And the worst part about it is it's on a game that only is out for 1 year. So that means that the value of the game is decreased from year to year because they come out with a new version. And it's not like you can carry that team over to whatever version. No, they want you to pay some more to get those same cards again or get better cards.
That's crazy. That is so crazy. But that's why I play those game modes. Actually, to be honest with you,
you'll fall into a stigma playing those type of game modes. I know people who play My Team and play Ultimate Team, and that's their life. And I know there's YouTubers out there that play a lot of these games, kudos to you guys.
That's why I regressed from I remember I used to play 2K all the time. I started regressing because I'm like, they just starting to get more hungry and hungry. They want more monetization. I'm like, you know what? I can't support it. I can't support it. Yeah. Like, I'll buy the game, but nowadays, most times, these sports games go into Game Pass. They go into some type of subscription, and you like, you know what? You feel kind of some type of way when you pay full price for a game, and then you see people can jump in through the gates, for free. You're like, man, I could have waited too then. If that's the case, but it is what it is. It's not going to change.
That's true.
It's until laws are enacted.
So, I have another question for you. At least we agree on that.
I thought that was the last topic of the week.
Oh no, we have 2 more topics, buddy.
So, what topic you like to address now? The Halo Infinite versus PC cross-form and cross-progression and cross-plat for Xbox and PC.
How do you feel about that?
Well, the thing is, I was always intrigued by Halo, but never really got into it. I thought when I was younger, I thought Halo was the coolest thing walking. I thought Halo was like Fortnite for us, but I really never jumped into it.
I played a lot of Halo 2. Me and a couple of my friends, that was the bee's knees. That was like the first true multiplayer. And we would stay up for hours playing Halo 2 and Halo 3, just going after
So you were actually good at Halo?
I wasn't a pro, but I could hold my own.
I said, were you good? Did you come in top 3 majority of the matches?
Oh, yeah. I was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie and say like, I was pretty good.
So while we talking about that, Halo Infinite is thinking about doing a battle royale. Would you participate in that?
Yeah, I like battle royales. Depending on how it's done, I would at least check it out and kind of at least give my review on it.
If you really think about it, I think it would be something similar to at your little Apex. If you really think about it, I think it would be something similar to Apex to a degree.
Well, because of the weapons and things like that, so
like heroes and all that stuff. I
would think that it'd be interesting. So, would you play the battle royale if it was to come out?
Like I said, I don't like Apex, but I did give it a try. Mm-hmm. So I will give it a try. If I enjoy it, I will let you know. And I will play it. And I was like, okay, I don't have any hard feelings to it. But if it's trash, you would definitely hear my opinion. I would definitely voice my opinion. I'm like, you know what? This is being uninstalled. Like, there's no reason to keep this on my hard drive. It's terrible. But the thing is, Halo haven't been good since you've been playing Halo 3.
Halo. I would think Halo 3 was where kind of was the peak.
Yeah, because 4, 5, Reach, like it never reached those pinnacles again. So
I don't think so. I think that it's more nostalgia is what everybody's trying to get back to.
Do you think Halo can ever reach that peak again?
I would say I'm glad that they took Halo Infinite and took it back into reconstruct it and not kind of do what Cyberpunk did. So I think that only time will tell, and I'm not going to give my hopes too high.
Can you imagine if they released that game like that? You want to take a moment of silence for that? Because, boy.
Did you see what I did? Let me do it again.
That would have been terrible. First of all, even for Microsoft brand, it would have been terrible.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, you don't want to fall into the same stigma as some other games like Anthem, Cyberpunk, and you just want to release finished products. I mean, I know there's always things that you can fix on the spot with a patch note or update, but you want it to be minor. You don't want 98% of the game to be destroyed because you can't even play it.
That's why I'm happy. It's kind of a love-hate relationship. I kind of upset that, I had all the hype behind Cyberpunk and it came out the way it came. But it's kind of a blessing in disguise because Cyberpunk is the pinnacle. Like, hey, you do not want to be like him. You do not want to be like them when your game released. This what can happen to you. Your game can be delisted from the PlayStation Store.
It's still not back.
Still not back.
In the market.
You don't want these problems. You don't want these problems. Even though they made, I think it was commercial success, to be honest with you. But you don't want these problems because Microsoft, they had to rebuild their brand again because during the Xbox One, game cycle or the game life cycle, their brand was tarnished because, when Xbox One first came out, it was not a game platform. It was like, okay, that's why it's called a One because it was all entertainment.
All in one type of exclusive thing.
It was all entertainment. They were showing off TVs and that E3 was so bad that PlayStation's like, okay, we just put out a system $100 cheaper, we're going to kill them. And that's why that generation was so lopsided.
Yeah.
And
I remember there wasn't that many games when it came out. You were pretty much everybody was playing Ghost, which was like I believe a free upgrade at the time, and it got to the point where I beat Ghost, and I was just trying to go achievement hunted at that point. There was nothing to play.
Rise Son of Rome came out.
Yeah, I thought that was a good game for its time, and it looked good. It didn't do what they thought it was.
It was just a technical. Basically,
just to kind of show off the power a little bit.
That's all it was. It was just basically a technical demo. Like, okay, look, this is a great game. This is a great looking game, but gameplay mechanics wise, it was so simplistic. Like, okay, hit this button. It's like it was just a demo in my opinion, but it is what it is.
I got one last question for you.
What's that?
So you remember DC versus MK, correct? Mm-hmm. How did you feel about that?
The video game?
The video game.
I feel like it was very censored because they was using DC characters, and they can't use. They
didn't really want the fatality issue. They pretty much said we don't want our characters to be destroyed.
Man, it's so funny that you mentioned that because I was thinking like that when the Mortal Kombat movie. I said they'll pull that crap again.
Well, there's a rumor right now. The reason why I asked is there's a rumor that Marvel wants to do a movie. Not a movie, but a game with MK. I was going to say, how would you feel about that?
Don't do it because Mortal Kombat is made its name off of its gore.
Exactly.
So, all the extra, being extra with the fatalities, being with the X-ray, all the extra blood and all the extra gore. Mortal Kombat is made for that. That's what its name is made from. So if it involving DC or Marvel, they're going to have to censor that because I know for a fact Marvel ain't going to want to see people. You
don't want to see Spider-Man get this stuff. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Marvel, the ownership, they do not going to want to see that brand being treated that way.
Well, let me ask you this, and we can move on. Do you think that it will at least sell copies if they were to at least announce that?
Of course. Marvel sell regardless.
This is true.
Like, it can be terrible, but as long as they got the Marvel tag applied to it, it sells. Like, and that's thank Insomniac for that great Marvel experience because Marvel Spider-Man games was down in the dumpster before Insomniac took over it.
That's true.
Like, it was terrible.
That's true. That is true.
So, now, last but not least, it's a new game that's coming out called Lost Soul Aside. So I know you haven't seen it. I'm gonna post a trailer in the side of the video so you guys can check it out also. So have you seen Square Enix new game that's like with the girl and you got the tree and all that stuff and it's like a free roaming beat 'em up. It's like that. I won't say Devil May Cry because that's the first thing come to mind. But it's something like that. I'm gonna post a trailer so you can see it, see how it is. You can react to it yourself.
Okay.
But the graphics look it looked pretty good actually, but it's a next gen experience, so it should look good. But it's like open world, you get the free roam, you find I think it's like different demons and stuff like that. It's not like that Chinese game that everybody was talking about. That's like Demon Soul. It's not like that.
Black Wukong.
Yeah, it's not like that.
I think that was the name of it. Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. But I'm gonna put the trailer in. I'm gonna let you check it out. I'm still trying to ingest the information. It's because the trailer just came out within 24 hours.
Okay.
So it's still very new. I think it looked pretty good. That's all I can say.
I'm gonna have to check it out. Yeah, as soon as you post that trailer, I'm gonna check it out, and maybe in the next video, I'll give you my reaction.
And that's about it for this week, I think. So
there's a lot going on this week, guys. So just bear with us. I was excited to do this because I'm like, man, so much to talk about. So much going on.
To be honest with you, it's gonna be so much stuff going on in the next several weeks because E3 is literally next month.
Yes.
So it's gonna be such abundance amount of information coming in that our podcast is going.
And we will be covering most of that stuff, you guys. So we'll definitely highlight some of the things at E3 and tell you guys what you should be looking out for.
So we do apologize for the more lengthy podcast episodes, but it's so much information.
It's going to be worth it for you guys.
So, and all we want to do is put that information out to you guys. So I'm going to wrap it up. I'm Max Jamel.
Nightman.
We thank you guys for joining us for this week, and we will see you guys later.
Out.